all of them powerful sorcerers and sorceresses. The furnishings, though centuries old, were of the highest quality. The rugs were colourful and luxurious, so thick your feet couldn't help but sink into them. There were nooks and crannies throughout where one could find privacy and peace. The entire property was kept sparkling clean by the staff, headed up by the suit of armour named Pillsbury. The occupants of Empyrean had changed since we arrived. We had started out with just me and my friends, Delphia and Petra Sonnet, and, of course, my faithful dog, Harry too. Then we had found and recruited an army of 50 former slaves to help us fight the Maladons. They had fought, well and good. But now nearly half of them were dead. The air of loss hung deeply over Empyrean, as did the smoky smell from the fires we conjured in the massive fireplaces. We had all trained together, lived together, eaten together and fought together, and now died together. As I moved through the front hall, Tobias Holmes walked in. One of his legs was of wood and metal, to replace the leg he had lost to a Maladon curse. He was tall and good-looking, with curly brown hair and an angular face with large and luminous blue eyes. He met me with a smile. "Good hunting, Vega?" I nodded. "It all went well, Tobias. 5 fewer Maladons. How are things here?" "Petra just got back with Artemis and Regina. Miranda and some others are still out, but it was just a scouting expedition, as you know, so no worries there." "How did it go with Petra?" I asked, heartened by the fact that he would not be smiling if there had been another loss. "The mission was a success," replied Tobias. "The elite guard posted on the northern end of Greater True will have to make do without their guns." I nodded and moved on. Pillsbury was the next one to greet me. His armour appeared to be, if anything, shinier than when we had first met. He and Mrs. Jolly, a cook in the form of a broom, kept Empyrean running like a finely tuned instrument. "Delighted to see that you have returned safe and sound, Mistress Vega." "Thank you, Pillsbury. Everything all right here, I trust?" "No problems, unless you count an oven reluctant to warm itself to the degree of perfection demanded by Mrs. Jolly. She's making the bread for breakfast." "I am amply confident that Mrs. Jolly will soon sort it out." I proceeded up the stairs and down the hall to my room. Awaiting me there, as he often did, was Harry too. He sat up on my bed and watched me with his mismatched eyes, one blue and one green. Part of his ear was missing from when he had saved my life, which he very often did. I rubbed his damaged ear and pushed my nose into his thick, soft fur, filling my nostrils with his scent. Even a bad day could be partially cured by this simple measure. My dog seemed to calm me whenever I needed it. I undressed, because killing blokes was a dirty business and I needed to wash up. Across my shoulders and down the backs of each of my arms was Destin, my magical chain, which greatly increased my physical strength and, more importantly, allowed me to take flight. I used to wear it around my waist, but had magically embedded it into my body some time ago. It seemed more prudent. If others ever needed it, it was but a simple spell to free it from my skin. The links moved silently and fluidly as I rolled my shoulders to ease the tension there. I moved over to the looking glass and studied myself. I had grown to my full height now, my shoulders broad and my arms roped with muscle. I had scars on my arms, legs, and belly from Maladon strikes. There was one at the nape of my neck from a wound that had very nearly done me in. I could perhaps have magically removed them, but I had chosen not to try. They were all marks of battle, and I wanted my skin to chronicle every one of them. There was another, more practical reason for retaining them. They all represented near misses from death. I never wanted to forget how close it was to me, to all of us here. We all carried the marks of battle. This made us realize that we had to be perfection itself to survive. I examined my face closely. Though I hadn't yet celebrated my 18th year alive, it seemed to me that I looked older, far older. Tiny lines had whittled themselves around my eyes, forehead, and